Welcome to Stuck, Time to Improv. I'm Mary Scott with BusinessRiff, and I want startups to be wildly successful. One of the things you need to do is make sure that business that you pick to start is the one that's right for you. So I'm happy to have as our guest today, Joe Nicasio, who's a business consultant. Welcome, Joe.
Well, thanks for having me, Mary. Great topic.
Yeah. So, what are some of the questions startups should ask themselves when figuring out what business to choose?
One of the questions people typically ask is, can I make money at it? And that's a good question. But, I think the other question that's really important is, will I actually enjoy it? Will I enjoy the business? Will I enjoy the activity? Will I enjoy doing it month after month, year after year? One of the things I witness a lot is people, they start a business and then, 2 or 3 years later, they're starting another business. And 2 or 3 years they're starting another business. And when I hear somebody says that they're a serial entrepreneur, I don't think that's anything to brag about. To me, when I hear that, it means I still haven't figured out what I want to be when I grow up. So, the first thing I think you want to ask is, you know, uh, will I actually enjoy waking up every day to do this work? I think that's super important. Passion is certainly one of the gateways. And you want to think long term. Is this something not only will I enjoy doing today or this year, but 5 years, 10 years down, would I continue to still enjoy it? So passion um, is certainly one of the pieces to the puzzle, but it's not all the pieces. And so one of the mistakes I see people make is they're passionate about something today, and then 6 months from today, it's like, oh, I got excited about something else. So whatever it is, you want to have something that you can stick to for the long haul, because you're building a brand. You're not only building a business brand, but you're branding yourself.
Mhm.
And
And you have to be
switching.
willing to make that commitment. It's not just something that you enjoy, but that you plan to continue to enjoy for at least another couple of years. Because even if you plan on building a business and then selling it to, either profit or to a big investor, you still need to make that commitment, right?
Yeah, and there's an exercise guy out there. He says, "What's the best exercise?" He says it's the one you'll do. And what's the one that you'll do? It's the one you enjoy. So if you're not enjoying what you do, you're going to eventually burn out. So the passion piece is certainly one gateway into figuring out the right business. The second gateway is, do you solve a problem in the world? Maybe you're really good at solving a problem. We live in a world of problems, and there's two kinds, Mary. There's the problems people will pay to solve and the ones they won't pay to solve. And if you're solving a problem that's the kind that people will pay to solve, you're on the right path. If you're solving a problem people won't pay to solve, you're going to have a long, difficult road. So passion is one, problem solving is two. Number three is proficiency. What are you good at? If you have a core proficiency, you can create a business around something that you're good at. And so if you're good at something and you're good and you're better than the average person, if you're better than most people, that certainly might be a gateway into starting a business. And then number four is proprietary. Do you have a proprietary solution? Do you have a unique, superior way to get people a result or an outcome or a transformation? And if you got something unique and special, that's proprietary, uh, that's wonderful. And it's wonderful if you have all four. So I think those are four criteria. You may have several business ideas, but am I passionate about it? Does it solve a real problem that people will pay for? Am I good at it? Proficiency. And do I have, my own process? And those are four good criteria to judge if you're on the right path.
Right. And if you're not totally proficient at it, do you know somebody who can co-found with you who is proficient at that sort of thing?
Yeah, I'd like to address that because there's people that say, I got this idea for a software program. Okay. Now there's two kind of people that have that idea. There's the ones that have software skills, and they're the ones that don't. And the guys that have software skills, they can bootstrap, they can write the code themselves because they're good at it. But the guy or the gal that doesn't have software skills, I got this idea for software. they're going to have to hire somebody and give away, a big percentage of the company, or they're going to have to pay them, 80 or $100,000 a year. And so, just because you have an idea, that if you've got skills at programming, you can program and create your software. If you don't have skill, all of a sudden your startup costs just went through the roof.
That's absolutely true. So those are very good tips for people to think about when they're approaching starting a business.
Yeah, and I have a process. My process is it's based on the 4 hats of creativity. Number 1 is you wear the hat of the explorer. You gather all the raw materials of what are you good at, what are you passionate about, what are your skills. You want to kind of take inventory of what you have to bring to the table above and beyond cash. Number 2 is you take that hat off and you put on the artist hat. You put ideas together, you take them apart, you creative. You look at different choices. I could start a business around this, or, it's nice to start a business coming from a place of choice. So number 1 is the explorer. Number 2 is the artist. You come up with several ideas. And number 3 is the judge. You put your ideas side by side and you ask those questions, who do I want to work with? Can they pay me? Do I like working with this group of people? Those are the 3 biggest factors when you're being the judge and choosing wisely, because you want to feel it in your soul that you're on the right path. So that's number 3. So it's the explorer, the artist, the judge. And then once you make that decision, you put on the hat of the warrior, where you go out and execute. I think far too many people put on the hat of the warrior and they go out and execute. I ask people all the time, when you build a home, where do you start? With the roof? Everybody says the foundation. No, before the foundation, you need to have a vision, you need to have a blueprint. So the explorer, the artist, and the judge will help you choose the right blueprint. And then you put on the warrior hat. Then you can pour your foundation. Then you can start building this thing.
I find that so many startups have so many ideas, and my suggestion is always write them all down and go through the list and pick which one of these is going to make me the most money the fastest. And that's the one you do first. And then you go down the list and you go, which one of these things is going to make me the most happy? And you do that one second. And you can go money, happy, right down your list and not have to throw away any of your fabulous ideas.
Yeah, if you're not having fun, you're doing something wrong. If you're not happy in it, it's going to be a problem.
Right.
You should not choose a business only because of the money. The money is an important factor, but far too many people, I started this program called Employee Escape Plan. I've been coaching business owners, existing business owners, since 1999. But I kept running into people that have a job and they're driving reluctantly to a job every day saying, dear God, send me a mentor to show me how to start my own business, so I never have to go back to this soul sucking job. And that's what I do. But, we don't want you to leave a job that you hate to end up starting a business that you hate. And so so instead of being in a business by default, you want to be in a business by design, where actually, how do I make it fun? How do I make it interesting? How do I make it so that it's never boring? How do I make it so I look forward to my day? My goal for all my clients and for everybody listening to this, like, instead of saying I don't like my job, how about this? I wake up every day. I love what I'm doing. I'm good at what I'm doing. I'm using my superpowers. I'm making a big impact. I'm making a big difference. And wow, I even make good money doing it. If you have all those criteria, then you are well on the path to being in a business that you can do for many years and wake up every day with joy in your heart and love in your heart, instead of this frustration that I'm not doing. Money is a good reason, but it's not the only reason, and it's not the enduring reason.
Right. Thank you so much, Joe Nicasio. We'll put your contact information and links in the comments for people. I'm Mary Scott with BusinessRiff. I want startups to be wildly successful. And one of the best things you can do to accomplish that is book a synergy call with me at businessriff.com. And join us again next time for Stuck, Time to Improv.